everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of my YouTube channel called Baking Project 101. For those of you who doesn't know me yet, I'm Lou, and I'm the owner of Cloud Cakes by Auntie Lou. It's a bake shop here based in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And today I'm very pleased to share with you the recipe that's very dear to my heart. It's called vanilla sponge cake. Now, you can either brush it with a butter. Sometimes I use my excess butter to do it, but you can actually brush it with oil and make sure you don't miss the side, okay? There you go. Okay, alright. Sorry, there you go. Alright. We are done with the not so fun part. We'll put it aside and we'll start baking. Before you start everything, you make sure that you preheat your oven to 330 degrees or 160 degrees Celsius. Okay? Okay, so we're gonna gather all the ingredients. We would need 3 eggs. I usually wanna break the egg first in the bowl instead of breaking the egg directly into the stand-up mixer. So I'm gonna break it here. There you go. Yeah, it's easier to break when they are in room temperature. There you go. And that. And we need the 300 grams of sugar. If you don't have a food scale in your kitchen, you can actually use the measuring cup. So it's equivalent to 1.5 cup. Okay, so with the sugar, you can actually just scoop it in. It's okay, and make sure to level it. Okay, there you go. And we do the other 1/2 cup. For sugar, it's okay to scoop it in. It doesn't matter. But for flour, we can't. So we make sure to spoon it out. And we also need a 230 grams of flour, which is equivalent to 1 3/4 cup. Okay, so we use this for the dry ingredients. So it's really important that we spoon in the flour to the measuring cup, because when you dig in, it's gonna add 25% of the flour content into your butter mixture, and you don't want that. So there you go. Okay, so this is the flour. Okay, now for the little ingredients, we would need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So we've got the baking powder here. Okay. Well, you can use your hand. So that's 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So this is the baking powder. And we would also need a teaspoon of vanilla. So we just need a teaspoon of it. Okay? Alright, so we also need in this recipe a oil. You can use vegetable or canola oil. This is canola oil, and also a milk. So for the oil, we have a 135 grams or 135 ml. So if you don't have if you don't have a scale at home, you can actually measure 1/2 cup and 1 tablespoon of oil. And for the milk, it's 180 grams or 180 ml of milk, or 3/4 cup. So there you go. Okay, so let's get started. So today I'm gonna use my stand-up mixer. If you don't have this guy, you can actually use a handheld mixer. So it doesn't really matter as long as you get to the consistency that I'm gonna tell you later. So for now, we will start with putting in the eggs in. We've cracked our eggs. That's 3 eggs. We'll put it in a bowl. You know what? I'm just gonna put that there so it's easier. So now I'm gonna add in the sugar. That's the 300 grams of sugar or 1.5 cup. Now I'm gonna turn this on to a medium to high speed. Yeah. The reason why we are combining the sugar, because the sugar cooks the egg according to the master. So you want to make sure that it reaches the consistency of like a milkshake. All right, I didn't tell you the time of whether how long are you gonna mix it, but if you see like it's the consistency of a milkshake, did you see it's like a banana milkshake, then you should be good. There you go. And also our teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. You want to start slow and hot. Just make sure they're fully incorporated. Probably 30 seconds should be good. There you go. And now it's time to mix in our flour. We can actually put in the baking powder there. Do a quick mix. So now we're gonna alternate. We're not gonna put it all at the same time. We're gonna alternate it. So we'll put 1/3 of the flour and baking powder in it. And once it's start mixing, you can actually add half of the amount of milk. And then we can add, another 1/3 of the flour. Mix it again. And then we can add all of the remaining milk. All right. And then all the dry ingredients. There you go. Well, you always have to start with the flour and finish with the flour, okay? Make sure it's fully blended, fully mixed. And hey, you don't forget to scrape the side, okay? Because sometimes there are stubborn flour that want to stick on the side of the bowl. All right, there you go. And you want to do a quick mix again. And that's it. All set. Alright, so now we're ready to put the cake batter into our baking tins. So, oops, there you go. I'll put it here. So now, because from my experience, I usually eyeball it. Just I know when to stop pouring. But for the beginners, if you have a if you have a food scale at home, it's better to weigh. So just for the sake of measuring it properly, we'll. Okay, I'm sorry, my weighing scale is acting up. So just make sure to tear it into a 0. There you go. I'm gonna pour about probably 400. So there. Oops, 407. Okay, oops. Alright, and then so that's 401. I put that aside and then measure another one. Okay. That's 379. Ooh la la. 405. Okay. There you go. Alright, so they're both 400. And before you put this in the oven, you make sure to just kill all those bubbles. I'm gonna make sure that it's clean and free of bubbles. Alright. So we're gonna put this in the oven. Go. Well, either way is fine, or you can put it here. There you go. And don't forget to set your timer to 15 minutes. There you go. Alright, and we'll check it out later. Let's take it out. But before we take it out, we want to make sure that they are cooked. So I've got a toothpick here handy. I'm gonna check it. There you go. So if there's nothing that's come out or crumbs that stick into the toothpick, then it's good to go. So we have this beautifully baked vanilla sponge cake. I'm actually hungry now. And that's the truth, I'm hungry. Anyway, I'm gonna scrape it. So when you scrape, make sure to start on the side. Well, that's the only way you could go. Okay, because you wanna make sure that you get the brown surface. Look at that beautiful thing. Alright, there you go. So now, I'm gonna make sure to do the same thing with the other. You make sure your spatula is actually very thin, then you can scrape the side. Okay. There you go. Oh my god, I'm so tempted to eat the side now. Okay. Ta-da! There! Alright. So, like I said, it stays fresh and moist for a long period of time. You can actually keep it in a saran wrap and put it in the freezer. You can, this is how I do it. Hang on, let me just show you. Ta-da! There you go. So you can actually freeze this even for the longest period of time. There you go. Probably around 3 months. Unless it's freezer burned or already, you can actually check it. But it stays fresh for a long time. So you want to do this again with this baby here. And then keep it in the freezer. And for our next episode, we will be icing it together. Okay? Okay, so that's it, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button here so you'll get notified of our upcoming videos and episodes. Subscribe and click the bell button so then you'll get the notification. I'm gonna teach you Scotch. The very, really side. Can you repeat that again? Really. This channel, did I say new to this channel?